Well, hello there, people, and this is big fucking news here. I printed this off of Fox News because Fox News is the so-called conservative site, which is, probably the ones that are, for this Patriot Act the most and for all this government spying and whatever. The so-called conservatives that are for smaller government, are all for this, government bulk collection and all for the Patriot Act. And the Democrats who, like Obama came out in 2000, or before he was elected and said, yeah, we have to stop all this shit, all this spying shit, came out and said, yeah, we need the Patriot Act, we need it, it's an essential tool to stop terrorists. And then they came out, even, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, it was in the Washington Times. I don't have the article, but I believe I don't know if I printed it, I don't think I printed it out, but I think I actually did. I don't know where the fuck I put it, somewhere around my room, but it said that the Patriot Act has not stopped a major terror attack, has not, it's not. So there you go, people. I mean, the Patriot Act, hasn't really done shit for us. And then it comes out, all this shit imposed since 9/11. The Patriot Act hasn't done shit. The TSA, it's come out numerous times about how horrible the TSA are. How my grandma. I just went to Florida. My grandma a few months ago. My poor grandma, who was 80-some years old, had to get fucking, patted down because she has fucking titanium knee, I believe, or some shit like that. So she has to get fucking patted down, and then, they're like, oh, well, at least they're doing their job. That's what my other family members say. I'm like, this is fucking crazy, they're fucking, it would be a sexual assault on the street, it's fucking ridiculous, but... So they're basically sexually assaulting an 80-year-old grandma to make sure she's not Al-Qaeda. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. And then it comes out in here. So let's get to this one. Investigation. Undercover agent snuck fake explosive, banned weapons past TSA. And I've covered this. I've seen it. I've seen the fucking reports. How many security breaches there's been from the TSA and how they've let people through, and how we can't truly ever fucking stop terrorism. The way to stop terrorism is by more freedom. But it basically goes on to say here, Homeland Security officials confirmed to Fox News that TSA screeners failed 67 out of 70 tests, or 96% carried out by special investigators known as Red Team. So there you go, people. Oh, then it goes on to say the tests were designed to push the boundaries of the screening system. So they're basically saying, oh, they make the excuse, oh, these are hard, this is fucking, detailed attacks. Yeah, like you don't fucking see, terrorism is fucking like 9/11, or, whatever. It's fucking, most of even the New York Times admitted the FBI is involved in terror plots and a lot of the terror plots. That's in the fucking New York Times, people. But, when it is, if it is, a genuine terror attack, here's what they're going to do. Alright, 9/11. Let's just act like the terrorists actually attacked us on 9/11 and everything about it was real. Alright, so terrorist fucking attack on 9/11. The security isn't that great at the airports. Alright, so we put in new security. There's still going to be ways to get around it. Will they have to get more detailed? Yes, but they will get through it, and it just creates new openings for them to attack, like what happened with the German Wings plane crash, where they instituted the locked doors, so you couldn't get in to the cockpit after 9/11, from the outside, and then so the pilot goes out to take a shit or whatever. I don't know what the fuck he did, but he goes out. And then then the co-pilot locks the door, and the pilot can't get back in. So in a way, that response to 9/11 caused the German Wings flight to crash. So more security does not equal safety. And again, the TSA, the Patriot Act has not stopped a major terror attack. Has not prevented one. So I mean, this isn't keeping us safe, people. All right. And how about these TSA agents? Are they screened? You know, there's been numerous reports of people getting through TSA. That child that took that plane flight in the fucking wheel of a fucking plane. You know, there's stories all the time. Do they check all the food that goes to the restaurants that are past the TSA security checkpoints? Do they screen every fucking worker in the airport? I mean, there's definitely, do they screen the pilots? I mean, there's definitely room for a terrorist to attack. There's ways for terrorists to attack. I mean, they could get in through the boundaries, through the fences of the airports. I mean, then you can make we just have more security, more security, more security. Well, if the government took you and locked you inside a prison cell for the rest of your life, you would, in theory, be safe for the rest of your life. So more security does not equal more safety. All right, I want to be free. I want and if it is a greater threat, if they're telling me, Al Qaeda is going to attack if there's no TSA, or if there's no Patriot Act. Fine, I don't fucking care what the government says. I would rather be free than be a slave to the government. All right. I don't want to get sexually assaulted. I don't want to see my grandma get sexually assaulted. I don't want to see anybody get sexually assaulted and be treated like a criminal at the airports. We should be treated as free human beings. And the way to stop a terrorist, again, is more freedom. And by more freedom, I mean arm the motherfucking pilots, alright? Do you think Al Qaeda is going to attack if there's fucking armed pilots? No, probably not. It's like, look at what happened in the Phoenix. They had the fucking Mohammed thing or whatever in Phoenix. I believe it was in Phoenix a few days ago. And it was a big news story. So a lot of people showed up. I heard a lot of people were there with guns and shit. And was there an attack? No, because people were there with guns. Al Qaeda, they attack places, and people, just in general, who are bad people, attack places where there are no fucking guns, where it's gun-free zones. I mean, look at all this, school shooting here, school shooting there. Why do you think criminals attack fucking schools? Because there's no fucking guns there. And then the anti-gun, take away the guns, take away the guns. Yeah, the guns were already taken away, idiots, at the school. So, there you go. That's why they attack, because there's no fucking guns, because we take away the freedom and institute more security, and more security equals, a lot of times, most times, it just creates more fucking bad things to happen. As we see what happens in the fucking schools, and with school shootings. And you think if we say, okay, no guns, do you think guns are just going to magically go away? No, they're not. They're not. So, I mean, the way to stop bad people from attacking is more freedom. It's, actually defending the Constitution, and actually using the Constitution to fight terrorism. And Rand Paul, I think, makes a very good point, too. If we're collecting all this fucking information from people like me who have done nothing wrong, or fucking raping people at the airports, it's, I think that can be worse, than if we just fucking try to focus actually more on the bad people as opposed to fucking focusing on everybody, so. In the Fourth Amendment, I think, should be remembered here. The protection from unreasonable searches and I can never fucking say this word. I feel like a fucking retard, but seizures. We are protected from that. And if what reason do they have to suspect me of being a terrorist? And I do believe that. In the Constitution, it talks about having a warrant to search private property. I believe I own my own body, and I believe that any fucking time the government wants to search my body, my property, my car, my whatever, they need to get a warrant to do that. They don't get warrants, and when it says, when I mean a warrant, they can't say, we got a warrant to search everybody who comes through this airport. No, a warrant has to be specific, and that's what it says in the Constitution. You cannot have a general warrant that says, we could search everybody whenever we want. No, you have to have individual warrants, alright? So it just pisses me off, all these people, we need more of this, more security, more TSA, more whatever, It's just fucking mind-boggling, you know. So there you go, people. Let's see what else it says in this fucking article. These actions are in addition to a number of security enhancements the Secretary has directed TSA to implement to our aviation and airport security since the beginning, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole fucking article or anything. I don't want to fucking bore. If you want to read the whole article, look at it's in every fucking mainstream news site. Just look up TSA, I'm sure, or TSA, you know, fails tests, whatever. Just look it up. Maybe I'll put it in the description if I remember, but definitely, you know, it's a very short. This one's a very short article, so definitely read up about it. Remember our constitutional rights. Remember our Fourth Amendment. And just let's remember how it's actually come out that the Patriot Act has not stopped the terrorists, a major terror plot, and how also the TSA has not really even caught a terrorist and is horrible at doing what they're supposed to do. And what they're supposed to do is unconstitutional, by the way, but they still fail at doing that. But there you go, people. There is your video on the TSA failing, what, 96? I heard it was, I saw 95% in some fucking mainstream news sites. Point is, they fucking fucked up big time. So there's your video on the TSA screeners failing 67 out of 70 tests, or 96%, carried out by special investigators who were testing the TSA. So there you go, people. There's your motherfucking video.